Guys, am I live? Finally. What's going on, everybody? Can you all hear me and see me now? Can you all hear me and see me now? I think we changed the link or something like that. That might be what happened here. I cannot hear or see anything. What about now? Oh, yes, here we go. All right. We changed the link. We wanted to put this fancy thing saying, you know, we're starting the live stream now. But this fancy thing that we... yeah, technical issues today. This fancy little thing that we put in there to say, you know, we're starting the live stream now, screwed me up because it took me to a different link, all these things. You know, I can trade, I can invest, and I can talk, but I'm not the best, you know, at these technical things. So, I'm sorry, guys, but here we are. We are good to go right now. I want a super big screen. Hello, Shen. Hello, everyone. Hello, Pierre. You hear me? Great. Is the volumes all good? We got links flying around all over the place, but you are all in the right place right now for the weekly live stream. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for bearing with me there for 5 minutes or so. We are cool. We are good to go. Hello, Little Lion, Michael, Martin, Ben, Jocelyn, Johannes, Shen, Pierre. We got Barry, we got Martin, we got Nick. Who we got? We got Brad here. We got Rich. Hello, Rich. We got Nico. We got Steve. All right, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How we doing? How are we doing? I was waiting for an extension trade right here to catch this extension position right now. Hey, Spirit, how we doing? Bitcoin just didn't get there. Just didn't get there. We'll have to see what happens around here. We've been in this kind of range all day. Basically all day since I got up at, you know, like 8 a.m. We've just been in this range. I did have a trade in here on this range right now. You know, I had this trade kind of right around here, something like this. I had my stop loss around there somewhere. But, you know, we were just playing around too much with this entry. And then we punched through it. I got out of this trade at break even. And I was waiting for the extension trade, but, you know, didn't quite get there. Anyway, we'll see what happens. We will see what happens here on Bitcoin. I'm happy with this extension position. Regardless of what happens. So yeah, we got good invalidation here above our extension 2. Good invalidation here above our extension 2. And now we've got all this bearish momentum coming in here. Look at all this here. Massive bearish momentum coming in here through our resistance level. I mean, look at all this. Holy fuck. You know, what we've got here, let's talk about what this actually is, right? What this is here. So what you're seeing is you've got a consolidation right here, okay? You've got this big leg up, a consolidation. You've got another leg up, that same consolidation. And then you've got a bunch of, you know, breakout traders here that are buying all through there. Once they saw the start of this new leg up and they saw this bullish momentum come in here, they started buying, all right? And they were buying into this resistance. The fools were buying into this resistance here, okay? And then what's happened is in, you know, typical market fashion, you know, what most markets would do in this type of situation where you've got a significant downtrend and you've got these breakout buyers just loading up in here, fakes them out, punches them back down. You know, it catches them all in their positions here, in those stop orders here, punches them back down. Maybe we get a retest here of the resistance level, and then a continuation to the downside, something like this. Maybe heading back down for 31,250 here on Bitcoin. You know, and this is like that Bart Simpson like price action here. You know, we've got like the Bart Simpson head. We have another leg down here like that. And it kind of ends up being, you know, a leg up or like a table kind of thing here. You know, back down into this support there, and then we'll work out what happens from there. But, you know, probably some more bearishness on Bitcoin here for sure. I'm very, you know, unless this was the bottom, unless this right here was the bottom, you know, I'm pretty confident that we do see a bit more bearishness on Bitcoin from here on. So yeah, any questions here, guys? You got any questions about any trades that are showing up? Any questions about anything in the market? Anything like that? What we can probably talk about today is a little bit on, confirming trades from higher time frames, stuff like that, all right? Looking at higher time frames to have a look at, what our trade looks like, all right? If we're looking at a higher time frame here on Bitcoin, we've got a 1-day trade here on Bitcoin. That's probably too high for a 15-minute trade. If we look one time frame up, at the 1 hour time frame, what we didn't have here is, look at this right here. This is a very telling sign of this fake out here. Notice how we had on the 15-minute time frame that really bullish move through. All right, we had this really bullish candle through the level here. Yeah, we'll look at AJ and Euro Singapore dollar. Sure. We had this bullish candle through here, right? And this is all those breakout buyers just piling in here on the 15-minute time frame. But when you look at the 1 hour time frame, you've got an incredibly bearish candle forming. If this candle closes in the next 18 minutes, anything like what it looks like right now, this is so bearish. It's incredibly bearish, guys. Like, this is super bearish here, and this is the telling signs of a fake out where the higher time frame never closed above the level here, right? So if you want to avoid those fake outs, this is price action, this is confirmation of trades, all this kind of thing, right? Because I've been asked about this a little bit, from you funded traders and from everybody else. If you want to confirm that this is not a fake out, you're waiting for this higher time frame to close. Higher time frame did not close above the level, and we now have a punch back down. We caught all of these guys here, everyone who bought in here, we caught them all buying into resistance. Now we're punching back down, all right, guys? So this is, very, very... very, very bearish looking candle, assuming this closes. Okay, so we've got AJ. Yep. Is it a sonar trade? Is it a sonar trade, this AJ trade? Oh, yes, it is. 1 day. Good structure here, right? So we've got some good structure here. We've got a sideways trend, though. This is always something that worries me. We've got this sideways trend right now. If this is the only Aussie dollar and Japanese yen exposure that you can find, then it's probably the best option. Let's look at New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. See what that looks like. Sideways again, okay. Euro, Aussie dollar. If I'm buying anything, I'm probably buying Euro, Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, Japanese yen. Like, there's things I like about the trade. There's things I like about the trade that we're like coming in to test the bottom of this structure around here. I like that about the trade. What I don't like about the trade is the trend itself, right? I don't like that we're in a sideways trend right now. This is not really ideal trading conditions. If I drag this up a bit here, you can see kind of like how compressed this is right now. But from a structural perspective, it's good. But from an RTD and a trend perspective, it's not that great, though. I'm probably not taking it. I'd rather sit out on this one, to be honest. Could go to TP, but I'd rather sit out of it and just go and find, those really good trending markets. Pound, US dollar, again the same. Euro, Swiss franc. That's probably better. Similar looking trade. Bit better trend though. USD CAD. Sideways again. USD Singapore dollar. This is probably a good looking trade, right? It's kind of actually still actually resistance. Look at how many R's we have in this level here. It's kind of still a resistance. I'd probably like to see this, close a bit more above here before we catch it there, because this is probably still looking like a resistance. You know, if I drop down to the 4-hour time frame, yeah, this is a hard resistance level here, and we've got, you know, extension 1 has been broken, sure. There's a bit of support coming into this level right now, but on this 1-day time frame, we're still looking at this kind of like a resistance, so I'm not super keen on it right now. What do we got? USD Mexican Peso. Okay, USD Mexican Pesos punched through the level here. Notice how, you know, this is similar looking price action here in terms of, you know, we just got this close. We got a few closes above the level here. Similar to USD Singapore dollar, I think it was. If you look at this section right here, but what we've got is looking at X mode, we've got all these R's in the level here, so the resistances in the level. Versus when we look at USD Mexican Peso, we've got like a full neutral level here, all right? And if we drop down to the 4-hour time frame, what does this look like? Yeah, it's again a 4-hour neutral level there as well. Whereas the other one on USD Singapore dollar was actually a resistance still. So I'm waiting for those, you know, resistance to clear out of that level, and then I'm probably looking for a trade on that one there, okay? On this USD Singapore dollar, Aussie dollar, Singapore dollar. Oh yeah. Awesome. Good trend. Okay, so we're talking about Aussie dollar exposure, Aussie dollar yen. While I like the structure, I don't like the trend. Aussie dollar, Singapore dollar. What I like is I like the structure and I like the trend. And, you know, I probably would call this, it's probably repeated once here. So the second time I'm still okay with it. But the good thing is here, I've got a much better trend than I've got in Aussie dollar, Japanese yen, all right? So just the trend in Aussie dollar, Japanese yen is just not to my liking. So if I'm looking at Aussie dollar exposure right now, I'm probably looking at Aussie dollar, Singapore dollar, Euro, NOK, weak trend again. Again, that same looking price action as USD Mexican Peso has almost the same price action. We've got almost the same price action on USD Singapore dollar. So, you know, there's some correlations going on here within those three markets. Euro, NOK, USD Mexican Peso, and USD Singapore dollar. There's absolutely some correlations going on there. It's almost the same price action, around the same level, around the same structure, the same number of candles closing above the level. So, you know, just be mindful if you're taking those three trades that they almost look like the same thing right now. The good thing about this trade right here on Euro NOK is that this is a great looking stop loss. You know, we've got this previous low here that we're below, which is fantastic. We've got this piece of X mode structure here that's defending our downside, which is fantastic as well. You know, if we break that, then we're breaking this low right here. And, you know, that is an absolute sign that there's likely a continuation of this really huge downtrend that we've been in. And, you know, maybe RTD was wrong that we're looking at some upside here. So, you know, if we take this stop loss here, then it's absolutely invalidated. You know, absolutely invalidated for sure. So I love this stop loss on this trade here. Absolutely love this stop loss. You know, what goes into a really great trade, guys? What goes into a great trade? You've got your bias, so your trend, making sure you're in a very strong trend. You're getting a great entry around, you know, a really key level in the market, one of these 100% or 75% alignment levels. You've got reasonable take profit levels, so you've got take profits that are, you know, corresponding with where the market has been in the past. And then you've got a stop loss. Most importantly, your stop loss is where the trade is completely invalidated, where the trade is no longer an appropriate trade to take, where your thesis is invalidated here. All right. So that's what goes into a good trade. Those three different things. And then it's about managing your risk so that you're not putting yourself in a position where if you are wrong, then you're wrecked and your account is blown up. And also, you know, you're able to manage yourself in terms of, you know, staying in that trade when it maybe doesn't look so great and managing that inner chimp to make sure that, you know, you're not losing your mind when you're placing these trades and you're experiencing this uncertainty here. Euro Singapore dollar 4-hour short. Let's take a look at that, hey? What am I in here? What's this Euro USD trade that I'm in here? Oh, yeah? That's a great trend. This is a great trend at a great level to trade around. Fantastic. You know, this is exactly what you should be doing here, right? We've got a downtrend of 107%. We've got a 100% alignment level. I don't even know when I placed this trade, to be honest. It must have been a sonar trade that was showing up a little while ago. It's now disappeared, but you know, this is exactly what you should be doing. You should be finding these resistance levels and trading around those. A 1 hour trade here. Let's take a look at the 4 hour time frame and see what's going on there. Yep. Very bearish here. You know, like this just cleared through this level here. Absolutely marched down in the past. So, you know, this structure here looks a little bit bottomy, but we'll see what happens. Maybe we go back down and test this neckline or something like that. And then I get out of my TP1 and TP2, or it's just an absolute fake out again of, you know, retail, and that, you know, the big boys are just trying to punch us into the resistance and then get all the retail traders committed that are seeing, you know, this inverted head and shoulders here, and then drop it back down from there and continue on this overall trend. You know, because you've got to think, you know, who's in control of this market and what's maximum pain look like? What's maximum pain for retail traders look like? Maximum pain in this situation is everyone seeing this, you know, inverted head and shoulders thing here, this chart pattern, and then, you know, locking in their long positions in here, getting punched into a resistance, filling all the orders of the big boys into the resistance here when they go, okay, absolutely, this is going up. I'm seeing this chart pattern that I saw on the internet, buying into our resistance here, and then ripping back down, taking out our TP1 and 2, taking out our TP3 here, and then this entire thing being invalidated, all right? That's maximum pain, and that's what I'm banking on right now. What have I got? What's my next thing? Hi Tom, I'm David. Since Bitcoin made a lower low, the Wyckoff accumulation is forming. Some YouTubers are talking about different phases. Would you mind if you can take a look for me? Thanks. Yeah, so I talked about Bitcoin a little bit before, David, around, you know, what my thesis is. I'm still seeing a downtrend, so I'm still short on Bitcoin right now. Only looking for short positions there. Unless we confirm that that was absolutely a bottom on Bitcoin, then I'm not looking for a long position here. A Wyckoff accumulation. Perhaps it is. If it is, then I'm wrong. I get stopped out on my trade that I've got there, and then I wait for an uptrend to form and I start buying support. I'll go back to it in a bit. I'll go back to Bitcoin in a bit. NZD CAD sell 4 hour from NNR a few days ago, but it's starting to range under my entry, seeing a lot of bullish pressure. Your view, Jake. New Zealand dollar CAD. Let's take a look, huh? Okay, so you took your trade here. Great. Good downtrend. Great entry by the looks of it. Let me just mark out your trade. I'm assuming you were trading that. I'm hoping you were trading something like that. Maybe you were trading something a bit deeper. And you were trading something like this here. Perhaps you were trading something like that. A bit deeper. My trade in this scenario would have probably been something like this here. But I can see why you would have done that. That's a very healthy stop loss. You know, that is absolute invalidation there, Jake. So it's a good trade nonetheless. Let's take a look at the higher time frame. Yeah, look, on the higher time frame, it still looks good. You know, what have we got here? We've got these wicks off the level. We've got 1, 2 wicks here off the level. We've got an unclosed candle here on the 1 day time frame. That's starting to look a little bit bullish, but we've still got 7 hours until this closes, so I'm not too concerned about this. The important thing is we've got some wicks off the level here. So, you know, I could absolutely see you taking out your TP1 and 2 here for sure, or if you've only got 1 TP there, your TP1. Yeah, I'd probably hold on to it. You know, there's still some selling pressure here at this level, which is good. All right, I'd probably hold on to it. That's your trade, I'm guessing? Yeah. I'd hold on to it. The trend is still intact. The trend still looks pretty good. Yes, RTD had me twisted there as well. I've been looking at NZD USD 4 hours short from NNRR. Can I have your opinion on it? Not a sonar trade. Yeah. NZD USD. Good trend. I'm going to guess that your trade is something like this here. All right. I'm guessing your trade is something like this. What I want you guys to all be aware of right now is something that I'm starting to notice when I'm flicking through these different markets, and, you know, what my mind is doing as I'm flicking through these different markets is I'm noticing, you know, these correlations in the price action. Very similar price action across a bunch of different markets here, okay, guys? And I'm noticing, you know, we've got this bottoming here. You could see it in Bitcoin. You could see it in a lot of these US dollar pairs that I've been seeing as we've been flicking through here. You know, a lot of these pairs that I've been flicking through here, I'm seeing this very similar piece of price action here where we had this heavy dump and now we've got this kind of like relief bounce. Basically, what looks like a relief bounce off, you know, what a lot of people would call a bottom here, okay, guys? Now, what we've got to work out here is whether this is just a relief bounce, a dead cat bounce, or whether it's a genuine shift in the trend, you know, a genuine shift in this newly established trend here that RTD has identified from kind of like this point right there, all right? You know, and what we've got to make sure we're doing is we're managing our risk across all of these trades because all the price action looks very similar. So it's like, all right, pick your favorite, pick your best trend and trade around that one, okay? So what's really important is whether you're right or whether you're wrong in taking this trade right here, Sanya. The important thing is not getting yourself too exposed to markets that are all looking very similar right now and are having this relief bounce. You know, because I'm seeing this relief bounce in Bitcoin, I'm seeing this relief bounce in NZD USD, I was seeing this relief bounce before in... We're looking at something else. It was like Mexican peso or something like this? No. Something else we were looking at before. I'm not sure what it was, but it was something else that we were looking at where it's almost the identical price action. Maybe it was NZD CAD or something like that I was looking for there for Jake. But overall, I think this looks pretty good. I think this looks like a pretty good trade. You know, we've got all this bearish momentum coming in here in the past few days, and now what looks like kind of a relief bounce. It's a pretty decent level on our 1 day time frame, which is great. You know, our stop loss is, let's look at the 4 hour time frame again. A stop loss could probably be above this here, like above that structure right there. That would be nice to have it up there. But, you know, I think it's still a good stop loss being around there where it would be automatically set to. I think it's a pretty good trade. You know, we've got a pretty strong push to the upside. So what are we waiting for? We're waiting for some sort of deviation away from the overall mean of this market, away from the mean here. A deviation into a good level to then trade back to that overall mean. This is mean reversion. That's mean reversion trading right there, okay? So I think it's a pretty good trade. It's a good level, good trend. I would take it, but I'd be very mindful that I'm not taking too many of these trades that look all the same so that, you know, my position isn't compromised. Maybe it was Euro USD that I was seeing here. Yeah, Euro USD, you know, very similar price action again here on Euro USD. You know, we've got this, it was Euro USD. Found it. It was Euro USD. Yes, Jocelyn, it was Euro USD. So, you know, what I've taken here is Euro USD, but it's the same bloody thing across NZD USD, Euro USD, probably Pound USD, Bitcoin, anything that's got like US dollar exposure to it right now. I just so happen to find myself in the Euro USD trade because I had it placed before. So what I'm saying right now is I'm not taking another trade with this same price action. I'm not taking another one. I'm taking one. If it's wrong, so be it, and I'm waiting for a new opportunity to show itself, so that I'm not overexposing my portfolio on just one of these trades. All right, guys, this is what the funded traders, we went deep into this last night. All you funded traders out there, we went very deep into this. So if you haven't watched that replay of my talk last night, make sure you get into that. Make sure you're positioning yourself so that there was that Art of War quote, the Art of War, Sun Tzu. You're prepared if the enemy does attack. You're preparing yourself if the enemy does attack, not banking on the enemy not attacking, or something like this, right? You funded traders know what I'm talking about. What do we got here? Thoughts on Euro USD 4 hour? Oh yeah, I'm in it. Yeah, Sam. I'm in Euro USDs. Hi, would you only have taken the BTC extension trade if it hit E1 in one candle? Let's look. Oh, look at this. Look at these wicks. Oh, just didn't get there, huh? Market loves to do this, guys. Loves to do this kind of shit right here. Yeah, if it got there in 1 or 2 candles and we had just like, we had this heavy push to the upside, you know, I would have taken it absolutely. Now I'm not so fussed about it, to be honest with you. I'm not so fussed about this trade anymore here. Yeah, sure, if we get back there, great. You know, I'd reassess it at the time, but, you know, I'm not going to probably have this one placed right now. It's a low time frame trade. After this live stream, I'm likely going to sleep, but, you know, overall, the right trade, and probably a great trade, would have been the one I was in originally, which was, either that there or that there, something like this. You know, that kind of trade right there would have probably been the... Let's redo that one. This trade right here, in hindsight, was a great trade to be in. All right? Great trade to be in, that one right there. That was the Sonar trade. If you took the Sonar trade, you're pretty close to a TP right now as well, to be honest with you. So, that was a great trade. We'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens at the bottom of this range, guys, because you've got to remember that at the bottom of this range, there's so many buyers here at the bottom of this range. There is an incredibly huge number of buyers at the bottom of this range. You know, if you could see what the open, what the order book looked like at the bottom of this range, there'd be so many fucking buyers here. And what's going to happen is all of these guys are going to get liquidated if we get too deep below this level, probably somewhere around here. You know, they wouldn't have huge stop losses. This is what people do. They go into trades and they try to get a crazy risk to reward ratio, and they take very, very tight stop losses. And what's going to happen is they're going to get liquidated heavily down here. And we're going to punch into that neutral level right there with all these heavy liquidations, because they're buying in an uptrend, basically. You know, this is not prediction. I'm just kind of saying, you know, what is the most likely scenario and aligning myself with the highest probability scenario here. You know, now that we didn't keep this level here, the bulls could not control that level right there. So the bears are fully in control of this right now. The bears are fully in control of this, because what I'm thinking is that every single level that I see in the market, all of these X mode levels, it's about who can control this level. Is it the bulls or the bears? All right, who's controlling the level at the time? And the bulls would have thought that, oh yeah, great, we've got control of this on this candle right here. But then the bears just came in and wiped them out. They wiped them out freaking hard. All right. So every level I'm looking at, I'm thinking about who controls the level. Is it the bull or the bears? And what kind of trend are we in, all right? And then what we're looking for around these levels, if we're looking at, you know, a price action side of things, to understand who's controlling the level, is stuff like this. These wicks, these bearish engulfing candles like that right there, these wicks right here, right around this level, okay? You can see around this level, these are all signs that the bears are in control of this level. level right now, okay, guys? We've got a wicks off the level. We've got bearish engulfing candles around the level. We've got more wicks off the level here. You know, these are all really bearish signals. And then we had these breakout buyers come in here, and then the market just stomped them back down again. All right, so you know what's probably going to be a freaking great trade when this breaks right here? There'll be a level around there that's going to be probably a retest and then a continuation to the downside, targeting something like that. What are your thoughts on DXY? Let's look at a one-day chart here. What I'm thinking of DXY is we might see some bearishness here until we get back to here, and then we're probably looking again back something like that. You know, that would be, if I was trading this right now, that would be my trade. That would be a great trade to take. So what does that mean? That maybe I'm thinking that for the short term, maybe there's a little bit of bearishness on the US dollar. So that means these US dollar pairs continue to see a little bit of strength. So, but then at some point here, we're going to reach, you know, a key level again in this market. And then maybe we see the US dollar strengthen again after we kind of get this gap filled. So, you know, we've got this gap here. Once that gets filled, we see a little bit of strength again after that. So maybe some bearishness in the short term back down to this level here. And then some strength again. But again, I'm not trying to predict what's happening here, because very easily we could just see this turn around from there and pump back up again into our resistance here. But, you know, that's what it kind of looks like to me. It kind of looks like the same price action that we're seeing on... There was a trade that we were looking at before. Is it this? Yeah. Very similar. Like, this section here looks almost the same as DXY, right? You know, DXY is mainly made out of Euro US dollar. That's what makes up most of DXY. Euro Singapore dollar 4 hour. It's not a thing. Let's look. All right. Oh, you're wrong market. Right now I'm not doing anything. And if I'm trading Euro, I can probably find a better trend to trade with, to be honest with you. You know, this looks like pretty much every Euro market right now. I guess you're talking about a trade around that level, perhaps something like this here. I think that's pretty bold. I think that, you know, with the RTD looking the way that it looks, I'd probably go and find a better trend. I've already seen markets that I've talked about today that people have pointed out. In this stream that had much better trends than this, guys. So what I want you to do, let's just take it a step back here. All right, let's take it a step back and think about, what am I thinking about when I first come into a market, all right? When I first come into the day, or I first come into the week, or I first come into the month of trading, what am I worried about here? The first thing I'm worried about is I'm finding the markets with the strongest trends. Okay, guys, and we're actually working on something so that we can identify those markets and put them in kind of a list for you that, that shows you the market with the strongest trends, all right? Shows you all those markets with the strongest trends that you should be focusing on first, and finding then the key levels in those strong trending markets to trade around. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to go and find the markets with the best trends. Find the markets with the best trends, identify a key level, identify a stop loss point below or above that key level that invalidates your trade idea, and then find, based on that stop loss level, where you can place your take profits. Check if they're reasonable. If they're reasonable, fantastic. If you're trading a low time frame, maybe you wait to see how the market reacts at that level. If you're trading a high time frame, maybe you just place that trade immediately because you're in a great trend, you've got a great level, you've got a great stop loss, and you've got great take profits. That's all you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing when you're coming in here. I want you to go find those markets with the best trends. And if I'm looking at a weak downtrend, 22%, where I've got a very strong local uptrend and an iffy low global downtrend, what am I doing? I'm saying, you know what? Let's go see if I can find a better trend to trade around. Where can I allocate my portfolio's capital that has a better trend so I can trade with that trend and I can execute on this edge? Because the trend is my edge and the key levels are my edge, and this is what I want to be doing. All right, guys. So when you ask me, you know, Euro Singapore dollar, I'm telling you, it looks okay, but I bet you can find a better market to trade in. I bet you can find a better trend to trade around than that. I've noticed that extensions can be a point of complete reversal of trend. XRP, EOC, XRP, Bitcoin. How would you confirm its reversal instead of further move up? I would confirm it with my RTD once my local crosses below my global. Then that confirms for me that it's actually a move to the downside. Once the global turns into a downtrend, then it's absolutely confirmed, and then we've got a strong trend to trade around. I'm not really concerned about finding tops or finding bottoms. I don't give a shit about finding tops and finding bottoms. All I care about is trading around great trends, and I want the trend to show me what's happening first. The trend is my friend. I want the trend to become well established before I start trading with it, all right? I don't want to find a bottom. I don't want to find a top. That's just too much uncertainty for me. I don't care about that. I want to just trade around the trend once the trend is established. Yeah. But yeah, extension points are usually, you know, reversal points in the market. These are when a market becomes overly extended and can reverse back down. These are those mean reversion type trades that we're looking at around those extension levels. Did you check USD pound 1 day sonar? USD pound 1 day sonar. Let me check now, huh? And remember, guys, make sure to leave a like for me. Leave a like for the stream here. Leave a like. I appreciate you all for leaving a like here. Yeah, you know, USD pound, it looks very similar to a few US dollar trades that are presenting themselves right now. I don't know if USD pound is the best option here. Is USD CAD a better option? Still a sideways trend here. USD Singapore dollar. No. USD Mexican peso. Better trend. I'm just thinking, you know, about this one here. What does this look like when it gets back to that point? Like, I like the structure. The structure's good. I like trading around this kind of big block of orders here. I like that, but I just don't like how the trend really hasn't fully established itself yet. That's what I don't really like about this trade. So I'd probably go and again find trades in markets we've got a better trend presenting itself. You know, the NZD CADs. I think NZD CAD. New Zealand dollar seems to be in a good downtrend. New Zealand dollar seems to be in a good downtrend. So New Zealand dollar yen. No, that's wrong. Those ones I looked at before, I think it was New Zealand dollar CAD, New Zealand dollar US dollar perhaps, something like this. They look like they're in great trends, alright? XAG USD maybe? Let's see what's happening here. Yeah, it's in a downtrend, you know, this looks like a good trade. This has already played out once, actually. Good looking trade, though. Go and find good trends. Go and find better trends than that. Pound US dollar is not in a really fantastic trend. I'd be a little bit worried about it. Aussie dollar, US dollar, 4 hour short thoughts. Good trend. What am I waiting for here? That's probably my trade. That's my idea. But I can't take this trade right now. I'm not taking this trade right now. What I'm wanting to see here is some sort of consolidation here, and then we get back below this level, we retest the level. That's my entry point right there. And then we continue to the downside like that. That is the trade that I want to take. I think this is a good looking position to take. If you're coming and looking at this market right now with me, as we are right now, that's what I'm looking for to happen, right? We get this little bit of consolidation above the level, this kind of price action here. We then punch through it really hard with like a bearish engulfing candle. We then get our retest. We get our entry here on the retest, and then we continue on to the downside, assuming this trend still looks the same. What I think will happen here is if we see that bearish engulfing candle through the level, then our local is going to look very different to what it looks like right now. It's going to look a lot weaker, and we're going to be in a stronger downtrend. Like it. I like it. I like it a lot if that happens. Again, if we look over here, we have this point here in the market, which we've come back to retest right now. So it makes complete sense that this market would get back up to there to retest this previous structure there. What we're looking for now, though, is we're looking for this to get back below the level and then catch that retest. So yeah, I'm not worried about getting out at break even on this one just yet. I think I'd be holding on to this until we see, that this level just simply will not break. It was New Zealand dollar Swiss franc. New Zealand dollar Swiss franc must have been that good trend. Let's have a look. What? I'm not sure. New Zealand dollar Swiss franc. Downtrend, strong uptrend, very strong uptrend. Still in a weak downtrend though on the 4-hour time frame. Let's look at the 1-day time frame here. Maybe it's an okay trade, but I like the idea. In this type of trade right here, we're in a very similar position to what we just looked at on Aussie dollar, US dollar. Very similar position. We've got, the market pushing through this hard resistance level. In my eyes, I'd probably prefer to take that Aussie dollar, US dollar, assuming we see this same retest and continuation back down like that situation here. How many candles do you let play out during drawdown to buy when you enter a 1-hour trade before deciding it's not going your way? On a 1-hour position? On a 1-hour position, I'm kind of focusing on what's happening on the higher and the lower time frames there. I don't really have a set number of candles. I'm just kind of thinking about, well, what's happening at the level? Is the level rejecting a lot? Typically, on those lower time frame trades, I'm not really so concerned about getting out at break even a huge amount. I'm kind of just letting it play out because I've kind of looked at these levels when I've done replay mode a lot. And I've seen that, we can play around here, a bit above a level before it punches hard back down through. And, we can see that level of volatility a lot on those lower time frames because we're waiting for that 1-day candle to close and that 1-day candle to close below or above the level. So, I'd probably just say to you when you're looking at these trades around deciding to get out at break even, it's kind of like, well, if it comes and tests it and you get a big wick off the level, or you get like a bullish engulfing candle off the level or something like that, then that's probably when I'm thinking, I'm going to try to get out of this at break even. That price action, deciding to get out at break even based on that price action, wicks, engulfing candles, seeing like flags form on the wrong side of your entry, like we talked about in a live stream a while ago, seeing that kind of flag forming here, and then trying to get out before you get this punch up like that. How about AC on 4-hour? Let's have a look. Yeah. That's probably my trade. Good stop loss. I like it. Above this here. Stop loss is above this. Great level. Good level. We've got a downtrend, 70% downtrend. That's good. That's one of the better trends that I've seen around the place. And you know, I like the look of this trade. Sure. Yeah, sure, it's played out before. It's played out here before. I'd probably call it second. I'd probably call it a second time that this is played out. But I like it. I like it, yeah. It's the right thing to be doing, all right? I'd say it's the right thing. You're not doing anything wrong by shorting this level, okay? You're not doing anything wrong there. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, Joe, you're probably right. Let's have a look. JF, I took at Aussie dollar, US dollar 4 hour before it went through the NNN. Awesome. So now you're in the trade. What you've got to, the decision you've got to make now is whether or not you're going to get out at break even. That's the only decision you have to make now. Get out at break even or let it hit your stop loss, all right? You know, I'm talking about the trade coming in as a new observer, what I want to see to get in that trade. What you don't want to see to get in that trade is wicks off the level, is engulfing candles off the level to the upside in Aussie dollar, US dollar. That's what you don't want to see there, all right? So we had a candle close, a 1 hour candle close into this level here. What I'd love to see is this candle just close as a big bearish engulfing candle, come back down. Yeah, sure, there's an imbalance up here. You could call this an imbalance back up to there. But guess what? If this trade fails, where's my next trade? My next trade is something like that right there. That's the next trade that I'm taking if this one fails. But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Again, we're not doing anything wrong shorting a great downtrend like this at a great level. We're not doing anything wrong. So we'll just see what happens. Again, you know, I don't mind the stop loss being above this. It's pretty good. But yeah, we could fill all the way back up to here. And if we do that, so be it. Let's look at the 1 day time frame. Okay. Yeah, maybe we get back up to there. I like this though. I think this is a good looking trade. Looks like a lot of imbalance in the area. Thank you. That's what I'm in. Thanks, Tom. No worries, Stuart. Let's go look at what Bitcoin's doing again. I've had a mind on this for most of the day. Okay, that's a nice wick off this resistance level here. Let's drop down the time frames and take a look at what's happening. All right, yeah, we're back in this range looking thing now. We're back in this again. Here we go. We're back in there. Breakout buys got wrecked. Stop losses got taken. And now we're back in here. And we're just waiting to see what happens here. If this breaks to the downside here, we're looking for that retest there to continue it on there. And then if this breaks to the upside, maybe we're looking at an extension trade here, or we're going up a time frame and seeing what kind of levels we've got up above this to find a point that we can look at a short position here while we're in a downtrend. What to do about FIFO in the US? I'm in Oanda and my trades keep getting cancelled. Yeah, FIFO in the US. I think you've got to just alter your position sizes a little bit because FIFO stops you from hedging, I believe. So you've just got to change your position sizes. So let's say, you know, I'm placing a trade like this here and I've got 0.04 splits. So 3 splits or 2 splits of 0.04. I'm going to do one that's 0.05 and I'm going to do one that's 0.03, or I'm going to do one that's 0.04. I'm going to do one that's 0.03. You know, yeah, I'm going to do probably one that's 0.05 and one that's 0.04, and that'll get me around that 1.5 or 1.55% risk in this case here. So I think the biggest problem is that you can't actually place positions that are of the same size. So I'm sure, you know, any of those US traders out there, you're very used to doing this. You just got to change up your position sizing a little bit. That's how to get around FIFO. First in, first out. And the positioning of our sonar trades is perfect for FIFO because, you know, this first position here has a TP that corresponds with TP1, second TP2, third TP3. So what it means is first in, so this is the first trade we got into, which is position 1 here. First trade we get out of is that same one. So you just have to make sure that your position sizes aren't all exactly the same. So just small differences. So we've got 0.08, sorry. What I'd probably do is I'd have a 0.07, a 0.09, and a 0.08 would be what I'd be looking at doing if I'm trying to comply with the FIFO rules there, okay? Let's take a look at some of these lower time frame trades, see what's going on here. USD Swiss franc. Oh, we missed it. Great. TP1 hit there on USD Swiss franc. Good. Pound yen. Strong uptrend, average uptrend. We've had it play out once already. Beautiful wick here. Look at this wick from this level here. Very, very nice. Let's look at the higher time frame to see what's happening here. Okay, yeah, look, it's resistance on this higher time frame, sure. So we're being a little bit mindful that, yeah, look, this is some resistance here. Am I taking this trade? I might take this trade. I like that we've already played around with extension 1 a few times, and this resistance has got a lot of neutral in it already. If there was still tons of R's in this level, if these two R's were back down here again, then I'd probably be like, maybe not. And I like that we've messed around with extension 1. So what that means here is that there's a bunch of sellers in here that are selling in this uptrend at extension 1 at this point right here. So what it means is that these guys, maximum pain is to come down here, hit that, and then squeeze out all of these guys here, short squeeze here, punch us through extension 2, and we get a range expansion, all right? That's maximum pain scenario right now. For all those people that are doing the wrong thing and selling in an uptrend. So I don't mind this trade. I don't mind it, but let's see what else we've got. USD Singapore dollar. Because I only want to trade one of these. Oh yeah, great looking trade here. So what have we got? We've got this point here where a bunch of people have come into the market and they've started to buy, all right? They've started to buy here. What could happen here is we punch back down here, catch our entries. You know, we maybe all these people that were kind of just buying in no man's land here, they're just buying in no man's land. They're doing the right thing and they're getting the direction right, but they're not getting the entry right though. Okay, they're getting the direction right, but they're not getting the entry right. They're buying in no man's land. So what happens is they've got too tight stops. They get liquidated. They're forced to market sell these buy positions. Comes in here, all of these buy positions getting liquidated through here, them all having to market sell. We go and buy up all their positions all through this here. Market turns back around, bang, up we go. And all these people that bought here in no man's land and got liquidated. Let me clear this chart. It's getting a little bit messy. All these people that bought here in no man's land, they just watch the market go rocket past where their entries would have been. And they go, oh, what's wrong with me? I can get the direction right, but I can never get my entries right. Why can't I get my entries right? Well, because you're buying in no man's land. That's why. We want to buy at our key levels here, our key support and our key extension levels here. And they're getting it. They're getting half of the equation right. Well, they're getting a third of the equation right, okay? Maybe their stop loss is a little bit too tight, and that's why they get liquidated through here. All right? So I think this is a good-looking trade. Good trend. Exactly what you should be doing. It's exactly what you should be doing. Japanese. Again, it's pretty much the same trade. USD Singapore dollar and Japanese 225. This is a very similar trade again. Very similar trade again. Just a little bit weaker trend here on this index, on the Japanese stock index. But you funded traders, what I talked about last night. This is an indice. This is a Forex market. And we have a level of correlation here between these two. Remember what I told you last night? You can't point to any financial market anywhere in the world and tell me it's correlated to nothing. All right, there's no market in the world that has zero correlation with anything else. All right, there's absolutely no market in the world that's like that, okay? Because if people are buying it, if people are selling it, then those same people are operating in other markets which means that you're going to have an inherent level of correlation, and we're seeing that right now across this indice and across this Forex pair right here. All right, so XAU, XAG, this is a bloody weird market. XAU, XAG, again, great looking. Punch straight into our... Okay, again, the same price action. This is just a few moments after what we looked at on USD Singapore dollar, all right? So what I'm seeing here is all these people buying now in no man's land. They're buying in no man's land. Their positions that getting liquidated all through here. Liquidations into our support and extension 1. Punch straight back up into our TP1 and 2. That's exactly what we want to see here. Exactly what we want to see. People buying in no man's land, them getting liquidated, forced to market sell, and then our positions getting filled from their market sells. That's what we want to see, all right? That's exactly what we want to see. And you can see how this is like a few candles further on than USD Singapore dollar. Right, it's a few. Imagine now you see just like some big candles come through there like this, and we see it through that type of thing. That price action looks almost identical to what you're seeing here on this market, right? Almost identical. Plug equities. Nice. If we've got a buy around here somewhere, oh yeah, looks okay. Good trend. Had this big move up. We've got this gap here that kind of needs to be filled though. Litecoin. Let's see what's happening on Litecoin. Same thing as Bitcoin. Same thing as all of the crypto markets right now. We've got this going on right here. So if you are trading in crypto, you got to remember that these are heavily correlated. All these cryptocurrencies are very heavily correlated and all reliant on what happens with Bitcoin, all right? Whatever happens with Bitcoin is going to affect the rest of the crypto market, all right? So just be mindful of that. Don't get too overexposed to too many shorts in crypto, because what we've got to remember is, what if this is the bottom? What if that is the bottom and we just rocket now to like 100k BTC? Well, you're just going to get liquidated here, and if everything gets liquidated here and you lose a huge chunk of your portfolio, then you're not going to have the opportunity to buy in this new established uptrend, all right? So just be mindful that there's heavy correlations between all of these cryptocurrency markets that are all super reliant on Bitcoin, okay? XAG USD, did we look at this before? I think we did. It's disappeared now. Yeah, probably because we switched over to a local uptrend, this started to disappear on the 4-hour time frame. Still don't mind it as a trade because we're still in a decent downtrend. You know, overall, this is a downtrending market overall. Okay, we've got 30 minutes until this 1-hour candle closes. So let's wait and see what happens after this 1-hour candle closes. See how this plays out. I'm probably not going to get out of this position here. I'm probably just going to stay in it for now. See what happens. Oh, 12:33. I did start you guys late, so let's give you another few minutes, huh? Any other questions? Throw any more questions in the chat here. I've just been yelling and screaming and animated and going crazy for some time now. So you guys throw your questions in again, please. G'day, Tom. 3 weeks in and slowly starting to get my head around it. Thanks, mate. No problem, Brad. Great to hear you're 3 weeks in. Great to hear you're enjoying. Are you enjoying trading, Brad? 3 weeks into Breakfree Trading. Are you enjoying it a lot more than what you were previously? Understanding what you're actually doing now? Or I don't know what your trading experience has been in the past, but hopefully you're enjoying your trading. You know, that's the main thing. Enjoying what you're doing. And also making a bit of money as well. You know, when you start off enjoying it and not just getting liquidated all the fucking time. You know, the worst thing is, it's like when you start playing a new video game, right? You know, I started playing Dota 2 a little bit. Asger got me into Dota 2. If anyone's played Dota 2, it's a bloody steep learning curve. You just get wrecked all the time. And it's no fun when you get wrecked all the time. But now, you know, you start to get, you start to get your head around it a little bit, and you start having a little bit more fun. And that's exactly how trading is as well. You know, there's a lot of people that come in and they get absolutely demolished by the market. They lose everything and they go, nah, I'm out. But at the end of the day, they were risking too much. They were buying shit in no man's land. They were doing all these things that they shouldn't have been doing, not trading around key levels, all these stupid things, which makes them hate the market. And that's really bad. You know, when investing is so important, and not being scared of the market is so important. You see so many people go in with a gambler's mindset, lose money, and then they become scared of the market. And it's really, it really makes me like not happy to see, because financial markets are really, you know, my life at the end of the day. I spoke to the funded traders. They know a little bit more about my background in terms of my experience in finance. So they know a bit more that, you know, finance and markets and investing and trading is really, you know, my life. And I really don't like it when you see new traders come into the market, get absolutely wrecked because they're really just gambling, and then they get scared of ever investing again or ever entering the market again. They get scared and they give away, you know, their power of controlling their own money. They give away that power. And that's what I really hate seeing, people giving away their power to somebody else because they're too scared to go into the market. All right. And hopefully, you know, Brad, people like you know, hopefully this experience so far in these 3 weeks has made you, you know, a bit more empowered to enter the market, because you've got an understanding of what you should be doing now. And then it's just refining this. It's just refining this over the rest of your life now. It's refining this being in the market and being comfortable with being in the market over the rest of your life. All right, because being in the market, being in trading and being in investing is going to change your life, because you see it all the time. The people that never invested throughout their entire life from when they were young, those people end up in very difficult situations. And I've seen it far too many times when they get older. I've seen it far too many times, these people that are too scared to enter the market and they just want to stay in cash all the time. They put themselves into horrible positions, all right? It's much better to go in, take a little bit of risk, do it properly, have an understanding of what you're doing so that you've got the confidence to take back your power, all right? Take back your power in the market, because the market, right, share market, whatever it is, cryptocurrency, Forex, all these things, when you get an understanding of this, then you're going to have confidence and you're going to make yourself unshakable. All right, you're going to make yourself unshakable from a mental and a financial perspective, and that's what we want here, right? Empowering you people, empowering you guys. That's what we want to see. I'm thinking of shorting XPD Palladium. You love your Palladium trades, Chris, but struggling which level to choose. What are your thoughts? 1 day time frame. XPD. Let me have a quick look for you. You know, I feel like, Chris, you're always talking about Palladium. You know, and it's great to find a market that you know well, all right? That's really good. This is the same price action I've just seen. I've seen this same price action so many bloody times. Love and respect the market. Exactly. 1 day time frame. Well, look, for me on the 1 day time frame here, Chris, I really only have one option right now of where I can short this, unless this level miraculously becomes something more than what it is right now. That's the only thing that I can really short at this stage. The market really needs to prove itself a little bit more. So maybe this becomes a 75% alignment level at some point. Perhaps that moves down, that neutral level, and maybe there's a short back down to here. Or I'm waiting for this to get back here. Maybe we've got some sort of a consolidation. It pushes through, catches a retest here, and then we get a continuation like that. All right, those are my thoughts right now. But right now, this is not good enough to short on the 1 day time frame. Maybe there's a short potential on the 1 hour time frame, though, at that level. Yeah. Something like this. This is the same trade as what I'm seeing on Euro USD, on a lot of different markets right now. This is the same trade. This is the same price action. Huge gap down. What looks like a bottom could just be a relief bounce. Now we're finding a key level to trade around. That's probably a key level right there. Oh gosh, you may want to extend your stop loss a little bit more and maybe target something more like that right there. But on the 1-day time frame, I'm not seeing really anything that tells me that there's anything doing on the 1-day time frame just yet, though. Did you smile that way because Tom's in Australia? Funny. Funny, Warren. Maybe there's a level that comes in here. I could see some level coming in right there. That would align with market structure and my understanding of X mode, and it would align perfectly here with the bottom of this previous structure here. You can see this structure right there, and then it was just like full bear mode straight into it. Retest the top there, come back down. Maybe a level shows up here. I think you need to exercise a bit of patience here on this. Exercise a little bit of patience and see what happens around here, Chris. Because this would, my understanding of X mode would tell me that I'm due to have a 75% alignment level come in here at some stage. Yeah. Exercise some patience on this one. Let's see what our Euro USD trade's doing. You know what I'd love here? In 18 minutes to fully dump and engulf this candle. Yeah, you did. You ask about Palladium a lot. It's good. It's good to have a market, Chris. It's great to have a market that you know well, that you understand, that you know what the price action is like on. It's great to have a market that you feel confident about. Yeah, I'd love for this to just dump in the next 18 minutes and engulf our previous candle here. If we get an engulfing there and then maybe like a wick or two here off the level, that's going to look great for a good short. All right, guys. Nearly 1 a.m. here. I think it's time to sign off. Give me any more questions before I do. Warzone will get you wrecked more. Warzone will get you wrecked more. I'm sure it will, David. Never played it. Love and respect the market. Love and respect the market. Just like you would a person. Just like you would a person that, you know, has a lot of mood swings. Love and respect that person. Right? Love and respect them. And they'll treat you well. Do you smile that way because Tom's in Australia? The land down under? Absolutely. Thank you, Tom. Yes. Yep. You asked about Palladium. Awesome. All right, guys. Make sure before you head out, give this video a like. Give us a like. Any questions, chuck them in right now. And once this is uploaded, you know, this will upload in like 24 hours. I'm not sure if this pair was talked about, but just saw Raul's message. Can you look at it for him? This was the message. Could you address the Swiss franc yen pairs if it is about to reverse? Swiss franc yen. Yeah, Raul. Of course I can do that for Raul. Let's have a look at Swiss franc yen before we Again, it's the same price action as everything bloody else. It's the same price action that we've seen everywhere in the market right now. So be careful. Be careful out there, guys. Same price action as we've seen everywhere else. Right now, on the 1-day time frame, the only thing that I can do here... Okay, he's worried about the trend reversing. All right, yeah, okay. It depends. It depends. All right, I'm seeing what he's saying. We've got the uptrend right now. The fucking great trade was around here. That was a brilliant trade. Buying this key level. You know, we didn't quite get to the level, but if you're scaling in, awesome. If you're scaling in, great. The only time I'd say this is reversing is if we fail to take this. We do see some consolidation around here, something like that. That's going to switch to a sideways. Yeah, Raul. It's a bit preemptive to start shorting this just yet, but if we can't, if the bulls can't retake our hard resistance level, Raul, then yeah, we could see a change in this trend. We could. It's all about whether the bulls can retake our resistance there. If they can't do it, yeah, we're likely seeing a change in trend and we're looking for shorts. Right now, though, preemptive to short, though. Hey, Rogue. Thanks, Warren. Laughing faces, Sanya. Ethan, thank you. Pierre, thank you. Alex, thank you, mate. Hello, Alex from the Netherlands. I'm Tom from Australia. Thank you. June, Rogue. Great to see you in the chat there, Rogue. In the global chat, in the inner circle. Good to see you posting charts, all your ideas. I love seeing that so people can interact on these things. Guys, make sure if you're not already in the Breakfree Trading global chat, you know, it's free to get into. If you're on the fence still about Breakfree Trading, you don't know whether or not you want to, you want to take the plunge and start with, start trading with us. Jump in the global chat, see what people are talking about. Lovely people in there, lovely people. Jump in there, interact with the community, check out what they're talking about, what trades they're talking about, have a look at some charts, and get involved in the community. It's completely free. Get in there, into the global chat, and start talking to people. All right? That's what it's there for. I'm sure you'll be welcome with open arms. All right, everybody. Sayonara. Have a fantastic finish to your week. And I'll talk to you all soon. Funded traders, keep managing that risk. Hopefully you enjoyed our session last night. I got very into that session. I really hope you enjoyed it. And you'll next hear from me Friday at the Essentials video. Friday at Essentials, we're going to be talking about some stuff. Not sure yet, but we're going to be talking about something. Enjoy it. All right, guys. Check out that Essentials video, and I'll talk to you on Monday at the weekly market review. Funded traders Tuesday at our group coaching session. Again here next Wednesday at the live stream, and then we'll keep doing that. All right. Every week, new opportunities. See you later, everybody.